Hey everybody. Oh my gosh. Every week it seems like a new beginning of another year. This has just been so unprecedented, so crazy out there. And know that we're all praying for you guys. The university really cares. The directors, the deans, the administration, everybody really wants to reach out to you and wants us to reach out to you as well and let you know that we're here for you in any way that we can be of assistance or help or support. So please know that. And that certainly includes me to you as well. So this week there's one video, it's actually an audio podcast, and it's from Bridgetown Church in Portland, Oregon, Pastor John Mark Cummer. I never knew about this guy till about 2 weeks ago, and my wife introduced his podcast to me from a ladies' Bible study she had been a part of. And I've listened to several of them, and this guy's great. Of course, he's a Fuller Seminary alumni. Maybe, I'm partial because I graduated from Fuller. But this week, he's talking to his house churches, those who are meeting in homes because of the coronavirus. And of course, now that's probably not even existing. They're probably just individuals in their homes. And I think it's about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because he makes a comment about some statistics that I know were a couple weeks ago about the coronavirus, but that's irrelevant. The topic of it is 5 practices toward becoming a non-anxious presence. And it's pretty remarkable. I just think it's a great talk with regard to leadership at a time like this. So I want you to listen to that podcast and then respond to the discussion question. And I just was at my computer and I was putting that discussion question up. And for some reason that I do not understand, and maybe it'll self-correct, but when I started looking at the portal, week 11's discussion question was out of order from the other discussion questions. So if it's not on the bottom after week 10, this past week, the video with Pastor Tom Stipe, just go look it up somewhere around there. You're going to find week 11 and go to that discussion question. So that's easy. Secondarily, I talked about the Zoom meetings, and I'm hoping to launch that next week, not this coming week, but the following week. Frankly, I'm kind of in the midst of a bunch of things I'm trying to do simultaneous, and I'm not doing a great job of managing all of them, but I'm hoping that sometime this week we can set that up, and then at least every other week I want to have a couple different Zoom meeting times where whoever's available can just connect in. This isn't going to be heavy-duty theology discussions, just to touch base with how everybody's doing and see each other face-to-face and connect that way. Beyond that, I also know, because several of you have talked to me and been a little concerned about your practicum, because you were working at a church or a ministry that has now closed its doors and you can't physically spend the hours. Don't worry. Just flat out, don't worry. There's compensation for all that. We understand. If you can't spend one more minute in that capacity that you had before, that's okay. We'll take what you've done thus far, and there's lots of grace for this semester. And with that, I also realized that the weekly journal may not reflect, every week in your practicum, since the next 6-7 weeks, whatever it is, you may not have a practicum to go to. So we'll probably shorten the total number of one-page entries that we want, maybe like 12. And if you haven't finished all of them, then you can just shift over and you can start just making a one-page journal entry about the discussion thread or the video or what we have discussed during the week, and just make that the subject of it, and it'll still get full credit, so don't worry about that. And then we'll talk in a couple of weeks a little more about the final paper, which is going to focus on those Lominger leadership skill areas that we were trying to focus on. And we're gonna end well, and we're gonna all do great, and you guys are all gonna get great grades. Don't worry about that. We're gonna make all the necessary accommodation because of these unprecedented events. But most of all, I'm just praying that God uses you guys in a powerful and profound way in your circles of influence, just to be that non-anxious presence of God in your community and in your area of ministry. So I'll see you guys on the discussion threads.